On this episode of Modern Greaser, we're looking at a 2017 Chevy Colorado. This one has a Mallet supercharger on it from Mallet Performance out of Cornelius, North Carolina. Cornelius, North Carolina, that's right, folks. This is the Mallett SUPERCHARGED ZR2! This is a freaking rubber mallet though, that goes in the stupid garbage can. So this Mallet supercharger adds roughly 100 extra foot-pounds of torque and an extra 100 horsepower at the wheel. So that means this baby's gonna be putting out close to 361 horsepower. Yeah, added extra horsepower in there, 360 but 361. So a lot of you guys out there are probably wondering, how does this Chevy Colorado compare having this $10,000 Mallet supercharger compared to a regular Colorado? Well, we're gonna kind of explore that today and see, is it worth it? Because that's a lot of money to spend on a supercharger. This 2017 Chevrolet ZR2 has a 3.6 liter V6. It is all-wheel drive, it has front and rear locking differentials, and it has the coolest suspension that you'll ever want to see.
To make the 4x4 off-road capability very enjoyable for you and your friends. Furry friends if you have dogs, girlfriends, friends, boyfriends, all your friends.
Friends like off-road capabilities.
So the ZR2 off-road package has the DSSV shocks. What does that stand for? Pretty sure it stands for Deputy Super Awesome Shock Package. Whatever it stands for, it limits this truck to towing only 5,000 pounds. Now, that's a good trade-off. I think I would take towing less to be able to go monstering through the Sahara Desert and doing cool stuff. So that's kind of the choice you have to make. If you're planning to tow something heavy like an enormous boat, but 5,000, that's plenty of towing package for most people, especially in a truck of this size. Because a full-size pickup truck, if you think about a full-size Chevy truck, are gonna pull in the neighborhood of, or a Tundra in the 10,000 range. So if this is pulling 5, it's doing a pretty good job. So that says a lot also about the standard version of this is pulling 7,000. That's a respectable amount of towing. So that's a really pretty decent setup for the engine transmission. The drivetrain in this truck is set up pretty well. So this Chevy Colorado is available from factory with a gas version engine or a 2.8 liter diesel. So we're gonna take this Chevy Colorado Mallet Supercharged for a drive, and then I'm gonna drive a regular Colorado and we'll compare the two. For the $10,000 that you'll spend on this Mallet supercharger package that this truck has on it, you will get the Magnuson supercharger and a full Cook's exhaust. Now you could leave out the exhaust and you can actually get the supercharger in the $7,000 range, but that $10,000 actually includes the install by Mallet, so that's around $1,200 for the install on that. Man, the wind is a whore. So there are benefits for getting it installed through Mallet, and there's some warranties that cover through that. Okay, so you're probably wondering, what is the color of this truck? Because it is glorious. This color is deep wood green metallic, and you can also get these in orange crush. That sounds delicious. Now this truck has 34,000 miles on it, and it has the dreaded 8-speed transmission shudder that everybody's worried about. There's talks of class action lawsuits. So the owner of this truck just brought it in for the latest repair, and he said it cleared up all the shudder. It did have that, and the dealer didn't say anything about the supercharger other than, hey, do you like the supercharger that's on your truck? And then they continued to fix the transmission. So if this vehicle that has a bad to the bone Mallet supercharge on it doesn't have any shudder, then there's no excuse and no reason for the rest of you guys that are teetering on the fence, oh, should I get a ZR2? I'm worried about the 8-speed thing. Let me see if that has a fix. Well, according to the owner of this truck, the fix alleviated the shudder and it's packing a punch and it still has no issues. So if the 8-speed transmission fix through the dealer still gives you the bugaboos and you're really not sure if that's right for you, they have the 2.8 liter diesel option that you can get, and that has a 6-speed transmission. So if you're really, really worried about it, you can have that. You get a little, pretty good miles per gallon with the diesel, but it's a lot slower. So yeah, you're gonna get miles per gallon, but you know what they say about miles per gallon and miles per gallon? It's not gonna be, well, nothing's gonna be like a Mallet supercharged version, but it's just not gonna be as cool. Right into the flight path, this is a perfect spot to film. Right around Thanksgiving. Another feature on the Colorado ZR2 are these. They aren't running boards, they're actually rock sliders, which can have a little bit of a nuisance because you go to put your foot on them like it's a running board, and the owner of this truck was saying, well, maybe I'll put some of that grip tape on there because it's a little deceiving, but they look really, really cool. One hand in my pocket. Ooh, let me crawl out of there. So you know if the Chevy Colorado can fit this modern greaser in the back, that has all the room for all your fancy things.
Baseball cards and strollers, beef jerky and sleeping bags and tents, taking kids to soccer practice. All their soccer balls can go back here.
One thing that you'll notice about the Mallett Supercharged ZR2 is that the Mallet Supercharger isn't going to be like a Whipple where it's really, really loud and whiny. It's actually kind of quiet. It's got this amazing suspension. We are going 1 mile an hour through a puddle right now. That's how this baby's getting used. Oh, he turned the traction control off for me, so. Holy. Whoa. Wow, all right, well. All right, so what did you do? Is that because of what they did with the transmission?
No, that's the supercharger.
Holy crap, we were just completely sideways back there. We didn't even get any traction. That was awesome. Whoa. So the exhaust has got a nice sound to it. It's not drony, it's not annoying. All right, from a standing start, we're gonna give this a whirl, not coming out of a puddle, and see. Oh, holy crap. That trans is way different than before.
Yeah, way better, right?
Oh, dude. That's crazy. Oh my God. Whoa, bird, watch out. Wow. So we just got back from taking his 996 twin turbo over the bridge, and so my legs were still trembling from that. We got in this, I'm like, oh, you know, this is not gonna be, it was still definitely an equivalence of awesome. You would expect that this wouldn't be as exciting, but to me, boy, just driving that now, I'm getting the same light-legged feeling as when we were driving across the bridge in your turbo. Wow. Well, this is it. This is the stock Colorado ZR2 that we're gonna take for a spin and compare it to the Mallett Supercharged ZR2. So I'd have to say the factory upgraded exhaust from the dealer on this particular truck actually sounds really good compared to the $2,000 version of the Cook's exhaust on the Supercharged ZR2. I think what really is tricking my mind into thinking that this exhaust sounds better is that this truck has that long K&N air filter on it, and it's got that long hollow tube for the air to induct through, and having the mixture of both of those, it sounds great. I think having the air intake really makes this a different animal, and it's kind of hard to compare the Cook's exhaust without an intake and this factory upgrade with the intake. Depending on what the factory cost was on the exhaust for this truck, I think the Cooks, you know, do crunch some numbers, they're equally good. I think, you know, maybe the Cooks could be a little bit better with the intake. It's hard to say because it's apples to oranges right now, but the setup on this sounds really good. The drivability of these trucks is amazing. There's no comparison to the Tacoma. Now, I haven't driven the off-road TRD $50,000 version, so maybe I should get one of those and compare it. The Mallet Supercharger has 100 more horsepower. So as you can imagine, they are gonna be quite different. I was getting in this truck expecting that it would take off merely as much as the Tacoma would. It would have a V6. It actually got up really quick, and I was surprised. And I'd really have to have them side by side to compare them, and you'd really have to have them on a track and run them along next to each other to really find out that crystal clear answer. I have to say, for the stock version, it's no slouch. It gets up, it moves, and I was actually really surprised. So going into this video, I was really worried because both of these trucks belong to close friends of mine. So I didn't want to be like, wow, this stock one really doesn't hold a candle to the supercharged one, or vice versa. And luckily for me, I didn't have to make that comparison because the stock one really holds its own. It's really hard to compare the two. And the Mallet Supercharged was a hell of an animal. When I got on that thing, it was completely sideways driving out. So really comparing the two, you're gonna get your money's worth with the Mallet Supercharger. You're gonna get your money's worth with the Cook's exhaust. My suggestion is add a K&N. And I'm not really a big person for air induction on any of my vehicles. I don't have any cold air intakes on anything since I was 16 years old. I made a cold air intake on my 94 Saturn out of PVC pipe. So I'm not a big fan of cold air intakes. But dude, if you have one of these trucks, if you have a ZR2, go out and buy a K&N for that right now, because I don't know what this exhaust would sound like without it, but you're hearing that air when you accelerate, you're hearing it in the exhaust, and it does what, it's Fast and the Furious all over again. The other thing on this truck is the approach angle. So this thing has the same approach angle as a Ford Raptor, and in the rear, it's 5 degrees better than the Ford Raptor in this little truck. So you can take that big gas guzzling Raptor thing and stick it where the moon don't shine. You know where that is. Don't make me get into details, because then we'll be getting extra greasy. And Raptor fans, I think the Raptor's pretty cool. I would drive one, I'm just too poor. Now the owner of this truck works for a big construction company, and you can see his hitch is nothing to laugh at. That is like the coolest trailer hitch I've seen on a truck. And he went from a full-size truck to this guy right here because this truck holds its own. Filming these, I'm like, how much am I gonna actually like these trucks? And I'm getting like, you know, those little cartoon hearts that fly out of your heart and flutter around and dance all over the thing. That's basically what's happening. Like little cartoon hearts are flying out of my heart right now because I'm in love with these trucks. No trucks were harmed in the filming of this. Thank you for tuning in to yet another episode of Modern Greaser. Make sure you hit that like button if you like this video. Make sure you hit that like button if you hated this video, and make sure you subscribe. I also made a whole bunch of new merchandise that's in my store at Teespring. It's on the website. I don't know, I just like making stuff. So anyways, it's on there. I make zero profit on this stuff. I just put it on there for fun to spread the word. I had 2 kids at my high school that were wearing Modern Greaser shirts, and it just makes me happy. So if you feel like looking like a dork, make sure you get on there and get one of the shirts. And this thing is off-road ready, and it's out there to ming ming with, I don't know, Chad. Or does it have a Magnuson supercharger?